Whoa! Never mind,
Cuddle
guys.
mid.
He loves Carl.
Oh, that's a sick cuddle pick. I like it a lot.
What is the kind of other hero that we have to look for on FNATIC? Is it one hero in particular help kickstart this game and push the tempo?
Usually will be the Beastmaster who can really
Jabs might go down top. Oh, Jabs. And DJ's also in trouble. One more right click from Wymon's not enough. Yeah, maybe this is coming down to a lot. Of course, in Southeast Asia we saw earlier in the season it was the prevalence of just stacking the triangle. Of course, it was something important last patch. Is hold that thought. Wymon in front of the Roche pit should easily be chased down from Armel, and this is going to further his lead early on to start as Armel will find his first kill of the game. This meta, they felt like it was fast-paced. Just go, go, go. FNATIC were really speaking earlier on in their interviews that they were trying to learn a different playstyle because they, along with everyone else, kind of thought this was the gameplays of that thought. Jabs is a bit separated from the team. FNATIC started to connect. Aurora's gonna hold back the damage from Gabby. Cuckoo jumps in the river as well, but they don't kill off Jabs. They turn their attention now towards the Templar Assassin without a way to cancel the Fiend script. Raven will end up dropping throughout the river, but FNATIC, they still have Armel, the big damage dealer and the Keeper of the Lights. They will find at least a way to rectify that, cutting away the life of Carl.
TA, her game, we mentioned how TA is like one of the stronger heroes in most situations. A lot of ways to burn through that refraction now with Fireball and Sandstorm.
It did work indeed as Cuckoo almost solo killing Jabs. Wymon's able to come through with the sucky suck, and now Carl has the fire burst, a quick and easy 1-2 punch, gets rid of Genuel's life. Now Cuckoo might be expended as the sharpshooter from downtown as DJ, a well-deserved tip, puts him on the board.
Fireball is most of this hero now, it feels like. Like, as soon as you get it, you don't even need your Dragon form. Or you don't even... And Sandstorm is pretty much everything, too. Like, Epicenter is important, but Sandstorm is, like, all your damage. So it's still a little scary, I'd say, for FNATIC to force it.
They might run into Armel. He's going to be quick on the TP, but Gabby has the avalanche in the nick of time. Now the rest of the team can fly over the tree line to give the kill over to Cuckoo, and
Epi is back online. All of T1 grouping up. They're setting up for the rush.
Need a way to cancel the blink on Sand King. That is priority number one.
Yeah, it feels like this could be really scary for FNATIC.
There we go, jumping on Cuckoo. They're trying to give them the information. Carl charging up the epicenter. In they go, ripping apart the life of Jabs. But that was a lot expended just for the Beastmaster, so maybe Raven can have a stable team fight. Standing his ground inside the pit. Gabby's gonna charge on forward, the Tiny, under the cover of the Spirit Vessel, but with Carl follow up, it's enough to get the kill. But still FNATIC, they haven't dealt with the Keeper of the Light as Armel just dishing in bursts of damage from the sidelines, but an exceptional Fiend script is counted out the last second thanks to DJ and FNATIC. They are not done just yet. Onto Wymon they go, under the T1 tower. A 5-man wipe by the river as FNATIC show they have what it takes to battle T1 early. Why not? But yourselves back into Roche. Epi on cooldown.
And you got Deso stacks, right? So Raven did get 4 stacks up now.
Well, they want a beta fight. Coming out to maybe protect the wards. They do have Sharpshooter if required, but the Spirit Vessel may be all they need. Wymon trying to give a little bit of health back. Nightmare dodge too early. Zephyr tried to predict it. Now this should be easy pickings for the first Roche.
Like, first time they fight around the Roche pit with the ward. Second time they fight around the ward. Maybe right after it, I think he does need that gem. It's just like, there's too much. There's too much vision. It's traps, it's Hawk. It's just these wards that are coming out, and FNATIC just looking to continue setting the tempo.
Look at this. Potential toss back into the epicenter. That'll be first life taken care of. But Gabby, he did pop the BK before this, so they've expended a lot, but they're still going to try and follow up for round 2. As a beautiful time Dragon Tail from Cuckoo will make sure there's no opportunity for a BKB. But FNATIC, can they turn this back around? The Raw holding Gabby into place. And Nightmare buying him a little bit of breathing room to make it back to the safety of the high ground. But Radiant is still chasing. It's FNATIC. They're not done just yet with the Tiny. They'll take care of Gabby's life. Now they're looking at Cuckoo as well. It's all up to Whitemon to try and provide a little bit of extra health, but Cuckoo still will be killed off with ease. It's FNATIC. Why not even go for a +1? Zephyr, well, he will be protected thanks to the throne in the T4 towers.
Towers going down, and yeah, that's that BKB that you mentioned from the Tiny getting popped early. I mean, it bit him in the ass for sure. Armel just freecasted on him.
Oh, dude, what is his damage? Like, we're speaking, Tiny's been a broken hero for quite some time. We often speak about how he can destroy buildings and one-hit people, but Armel is proving that he is a different sort of damage in the Magic, and
all about getting on Coddle. Let's see. If they get on Coddle, perhaps they can win the fight. If they don't, I think they're just going to lose the fight to him completely.
This is a pretty cool angle. Oh no, the creeps, instant BKB from Jabs, and I think you might just have to cut your losses and let Whitemon die. Also thinking about charging up the epicenter. Whitemon's going to end up going down, but T1, they're still sticking around. They feel like this is an okay fight, even the numbers disadvantage. Gabby, they don't even kill Jenny. Wow! They don't even burst the Weaver, but they're onto the Templar Assassin. Epicenter doing mass amounts of damage, so Raven is killed off, but they haven't gotten rid of Armel. All eyes on the Keeper of the Light to see how we can turn this fight back around as a blast from downtown kills off Zephyr. Cuckoo's back in, eyeing up Jabs. Carl with a follow-up as well, but now Carl, he's coming into the middle, and Armel's doing God's work. Wicked sick. Gabby's without a BKB. They've even got the boomerang for good measure. Continuing to chase, continuing to hunt, but a buyback's out. Zephyr still has the Fiend's grip, but they've got the bushwhack. An instant cancel. And Armel protected from the BKB. He escapes in the nighttime, and the buyback all for naught.
Like, they're just double smoked, right? Like, they really are just understanding how this is everything for the game.
And yours under a ward. You're gonna lose your advantage now if the Eric Cole jumps in. No! The epicenter completely wasted. Now this is all FNATIC's fight. But do you charge in the river? FNATIC playing patient. They know they have time on their side. Another ward drop. Whitemon would hate to lose the gem. It's actually given over, but it doesn't matter. DJ, sharpshooter from downtown once again. He's on point.
DJ's gotten, what, like 4 beautiful snipes so far.
DJ Hoodwink is something to fear as Gabby. Look at the backstab. Have confirmation. Cuckoo's going to jump straight to the Weaver. Gabby, simultaneous initiation. They're on to Jabs, but Aurora holds them back off to the northern side. Raven's doing the dirty work. Cleans up Zephyr with the Bane. And now Gabby also trades a 1-for-1. That is the Beastmaster's life.
That is
Gabby
the BKB
did have to
used.
Yes. Yeah. Carl is back in. Lotus Orb out at the same time. They're going to try and blow up the Templar Assassin. Raven protected for the Lotus Orb. Now they're targeting down Carl in the river, and they're still unable to deal with Armel. A TP out from Gabby will be successful along with Cuckoo, but you've completely given away any hope of defending the pit.
They can't burst him. They can kill the beast, but they have to expend too much. And yeah, the whiffed epicenter before the fight starts too.
They have so much information. They're going to see Gabby's position as well.
I mean, this is like the Harpy pretty much. Like, they see the entire fight.
Let's go. Gabby jumps in, but a toss off the mark. Not a lot expended, although, well, maybe the life of Cuckoo. Not even a hope to pop the BKB. Is no buyback on the Dragon Knight, and
yeah, T1, you can see, I mean, Carl knows, he's been doing this for like 5-6 minutes now. He's just continuing to pump fake the epi.
So is a threat of Gabby with the backstab.
Almost 25 Coddle.
Dude. Double Lincolns and Lotus Orb. This is no, it's always overlapped in protection. They're gonna try and jump. Calls him with the epicenter. It's a decent amount of burst, but Raven stands his ground, and our Jabs will hold back Gabby through the BKB, and well, that was their attempt. They blew everything to try and get rid of the first life.
DJ just literally one-shotted the Pugman.
There we go, Cuckoo back alive. They're trying to deal with the first life, but Armel just giving him so much help. The blast! The blast! It killed off Carl. It's always been Armel's game from the laning stage to the end.
T1, they're going to try to hang on, but this one is well and clearly
alright. They got 1%. I believe.
1%.
I believe in the 1%ers. Gabby. Awesome with the T4 tower, but Raven no messing around. Instant BKB and turns for the Bane. A sharpshooter does more than 2/3 of the health of the Dragonite, so he's back inside the base. It will call up in 40 seconds, but that's going to be a long 40 seconds as Gabby falling lower and lower. A decrypt to try and give him some time. A BKB won't be a possibility, and it'll be FNATIC. A really, really clean game 1 performance as Armel shows that. His Cuddle, it's up there with the best.
I mean, flawless performance from him, right? He had the one death, the one little slip up, but
FNATIC, of course, they've already booked their ticket over to the major up at T1, looking to finalize that slot right here and right now. Under some pressure with the rotation down from DJ.
this is a good move. This is a needed move, it feels like.
And I'm still waiting to find our first blood, and Zephyr's going to give that one over to Raven as the Arc Warden. Thank you very much. A mass influx of gold given over to the position 1. So Cuckoo, no point in the Gershar, but it's got plenty of 1 charges to play with. Try and stand his ground and push back FNATIC. This is leaving Mitz alone. As Carl's going to drop the cord, Genuel's going to try and step in, but the Weaver doesn't provide too much. Maybe that's where Jabs can come into play. They'll still lose the life of the Invoker as Carl's able to get out of trouble. So a big rotation. Don't have TP on Armel if they are needed, but this is a good timing on T1 with the Catapult Wave.
Just watch out for the Wrath of Nature. Level 6 now on Nature's Prophet. That's the one thing T1 has to be careful of. Here it comes.
And it's coming in with the teleport too. Jabs so much burst on Cuckoo. The Ghost Shroud is out, but he doesn't have a way to cut through the Sprout. Zephyr's trying to stand his ground and beat onto Genuel, but the Weaver so pesky, they don't have a way to catch up to the bug as FNATIC. The +1s are going to be so difficult for T1 to deal with through the entirety of this game. Carl's even going into the treads first instead of maybe like a boots into Witchblade, or just brown boots into Witchblade, I should say. So wanting to maybe tank up a little bit more.
Okay.
He's got
Raven.
Coil and a Raven. They still are without the Scythe on Cuckoo. You'd love to find the first charge of the game, but the damage is plentiful to cut off the life of Raven. A little bit too late for his TP. And simultaneously, we're also seeing... Actually, hold that thought. Bottom lane, TP's down. Lymon in a good position to be able to scout out Armel, but DJ already in a location to be able to block off the escape avenue. So another TP down that nets him a kill on a support. You're kind of hoping to get a... you're hoping to get a bit more. I feel like you're okay, especially with the greed.
Anything you can get this early game. When you've got this super greedy draft, like anything you can get. As we see, T1 starting to set up for their farm here. It's going to get soaked from the other side.
Jabs is going to go down. Okay, so Carl, that was not even coil used. It looks like the overgrowth, and back to the triangle. They've been able to cut away the tree of DJ, so Cuckoo will find his first Reaper Scythe charge of the game. There's Armel. Well, he's looking to get involved in the action, stepping in along with Genuel. They have Raven too, so Cuckoo, very tanky. We see how difficult it is to kill off the Necrophos. But can they punish FNATIC from overstepping the boundary? It looks like they'll run into the Weaver to the north. So that would be Gabby with the finishing blow. Really been seeing games slow down, and something that when Southeast Asia, it's always fast action.
Things have changed once, it's like everything's getting closer to TI. People are being more careful, but here we go. FNATIC, they're smoked.
Got a really good ward on the higher ground to give them information. They're going to move to the north by the outpost.
Nice.
Overgrowth will hold them back. They're unable to lay down the Wukong for some control. Gabby's going to try and continue to retreat, but meanwhile, it's just all their ultimates lay it down as they're just in the meat grinder. Jabs will try and BKB TP out. They've already lost 2 back in the front of the pit. The Arc Warden's been caught out. He's trying to stand his ground. He'll get a kill after the death, but oh, it's only on a position 5. Such a worthwhile trade for T1.
Both, they have like 2 of the heroes, in my opinion, that gain damage based off of items the most. Arc Warden and Nature's Prophet. Like, they need items to actually do stuff.
Jabs, get out. Get out. They've got overgrowth, so there's no hope of a BKB TP. He's still going to go for it, but Zephos stalking, and they wouldn't even need it. They will not even need the overgrowth as Jabs is killed off, but FNATIC, they want the fight.
Okay, I mean, this is bold.
I don't know. Not without Jabs. Let's see how they can start this. A double boundless into the Wukongs. They're trying to focus down Gabby, who's falling lower and lower. The life stream isn't enough. And now Cuckoo, he's soon to be killed off as well. FNATIC taking a team fight with a numbers disadvantage. But FNATIC, they show up huge, taking away 2 lives and almost third. But what was that?
Wow. I mean, that was very unexpected. I thought might be an option for him, but no. He's just gone straight for later scaling is what I want to call this.
Well, the Orca was actually the first item he had queued up.
Yeah, that's...
Oh no. In again goes Gabby. And it was almost a hope for a time lapse, but Gabby gets back-to-back kills in the Weaver.
Yeah, they have no medallion. Tiny not the best clear for it. Said they're going to look for a gank potentially. They see Armel in mid. DJ, he's smoked. Oh.
Gabby, toss back. DJ in the river. No escape as they find another Scythe kill. Cuckoo, 4 charges. Back to Roche they go. Now, no way. No way. He's toying with them. It's like, yeah, there's maybe a chance. So that is just a ridiculous amount of farm that's been taken away from Raid.
Jabs. There's a ward.
On bottom, yeah.
They take a ward.
Jabs. There's not much he can do.
Here. He's waiting.
Yeah, he's just stalking at the tree line. And again, there won't even be a threat of the overgrowth. They've done way too much damage. And
now they're going to try to stop some TPs. Look, Jabs is porting bottom. Starting to scout.
Jabs for a little while. 15 seconds without the Nature's Prophet.
Carl's on him.
They might have caught him out. Bottom lane, Carl is going to move down with the help of Zephyr. Coil dropped if required, and there we go. Comes into play as Jabs tries to stand his ground to potentially kill off Zephyr, but they don't even have the damage. Now back to the river. Gabby, oh, it's a huge catch onto Armel's Invoker. Now they've also ran into Raven. And BKB looking to stand his ground on the high gun, beating into Gabby, but Whitemon the medic making sure there's minimal damage dealt into Gabby's Tiny. It's FNATIC. Multiple buybacks, but they will get nothing out of it as T1 robbed them of everything.
That's the one thing I'm looking like. They have heroes and they have the itemization, as you mentioned, with the bots to address a, you know, lane of racks being brought down. So T1.
Oh, they're jumping instantly. Gabby, Hex out of the moment, but good luck killing the Tiny. 3,900 health, and they just evacuate away from the areas. What's the play now? I'm surprised at the 13% probability for FNATIC.
I thought it was going to be 2% when I opened it or something, 1%.
In a game 3 that could decide if they can qualify to the major or not off the back of this series, but it's always a question mark when you're against the Arc Wardens, but what's going on bottom lane? Okay, Nature's Prophet's been caught out. Well, it's been Jabs' role the entirety of the game to try and make space and try and split push the map, but his life will be cut apart as Cuckoo. Another charge, 110 seconds. Oh, the comms must be so rough on FNATIC. You at least have a buyback on Jabs, so it is back and available.
I'm sure they're talking about just like... Oh, that's a sick ward. Oh, the grab.
Gabby, what? Oh my lord, that combination onto 2. They just walk together, hand in hand, and they'll join each other in the grave. Multiple buybacks are out for FNATIC. They need to get something out of this. But again, T1, they just walk away. They just walk away.
10,000 gold on Gabby. Unsure what to buy. He had Satanic Q, now he's got Butterfly Q, now he's back to Satanic. Too much gold to know what to do with. Okay, let's see.
Zephyr's in prime position. A double boundless Whitemon behind. They'll finally get a kill.
They got a kill.
20 plus minutes after the previous one. And that is Gem also picked up on Genuel.
So as much as we memed about it, it is a pretty good pickup anyway, even though they don't need it by any means this game. 40,000 gold lead.
The one thing is that... Oh, never mind. Gabby's just going to brute force this high ground. Waiting. Okay. They get the instant hex. A lot of damage. Whitemon off to the side, but still they've blown up Gabby. Tiny's killed off. Now they're on to Cuckoo. Carl's still trying to provide as much chaos as he possibly can. Cuckoo with a ghost shot, protecting for the duration, trying to juke to the right side of the fight, but Carl again, in he goes. Potentially can snag the gem, but just the chaos. Carl, look at how aggressive he's playing. They already had one, I believe, on DJ, so double gem back in the hands of FNATIC.
Whitemon's got one now too, though. I think he bought another one for the Pugna. Okay.
Armo. Oh, they're actually
Zephyr,
keeping it to
the
top.
bots too.
A bit to travel. Armo, instant BKB, but it's not going to matter. Overgrowth and coil, everything they would desire to lock Armo in place. They're already hunting for more. They're trying to catch any stragglers, but FNATIC, they're out of the area. Maybe a 41,000 net worth lead. It might not be as much, but it's so much gold they go over earlier in the game.
Let's see. On to high ground. 40 seconds.
Playing this one is a bit
Carl.
rushed. They could take Roche. Okay, tree's gonna be claimed. Zephyr, nicely doing instant use of the scythe. No messing around from Cuckoo. Wants to put the Monkey King in the grave. He doesn't have a buyback. Now further inside, Armel's going to be forced to buy back. Drawn to Cuckoo, a lot of damage to the Necrophos, but Gabby follows up. Inside the base they go. The BKB can stand his ground as there's no answer. This cleave is all they would need as Gabby just shreds them apart.
This is Gabby finally gets to play after dying before. And now they can close it out. Felt like it was a long time coming, but wow.
Yeah.
What a performance again.
Carl went 11, 0, and 13, and in the end, T1, they get to force it to a game 3. Like you said, a long time coming, 55 minutes in, but I'm a big fan of T1's draft. I think they got a bit of an edge in this game 3.
Yeah, I'm mostly going to be watching mid. I'm not sure what Arno will do. He's got the Flame Guard level 1, which from the changes and all that, it's become a little better versus Necrophos level 1, as you can absorb the first pulse now. You couldn't do that in the past, so other little changes,
DJ?
you know.
One more right click with the slow from the snake. Oh, live one. Licking his lips, he finds first blood, and T1 are on the board.
I like when I see people actually take the skill points. Like when you're Necro and you're like, ooh, I could take that third point and nuke over my Ghost round.
Yeah, well, that's what we saw in the previous game. He was level 4, and then they were putting, well, actually top lane, Tombstone down. Nice read, though. Cuckoo and Zephyr just turn it back on the Tombstone. Now this gives them a big window to beat onto Raven. He's going to try and stand his ground with the multi-shot, but it doesn't matter. T1 surrounds him with an easy kill, and well, Januel's completely out of mana, so he's going to rely on the movement speed to try and chase down Zephyr, but...
And the Bane was annoying. Maybe he was trying to do the rotation and just ran into an Ember. But look, what is happening? Are they chasing creeps? Carl's trying to bring the lane. Like he's trying to meet the wave.
His Remnant's
His Remnant just timed out. It just timed out.
He's going to die from this. They still have the brain zap. No way. Multiple tips flowing out as Armel gives over the 4th death.
Because your Ember is, as we mentioned, you know, when you have a tough lane like this, you can't be the one to now go gank side lanes, because if you die, your game is just completely over. So now, yeah, I'm not sure who helps Raven.
Oh, we're seeing Raven under a little bit of pressure. Cuckoo does have the reinforcements soon to show up, but Cuckoo's Rolling Thunder is back in the arsenal. He'll bounce back off the wall. Raven really nice sidesteps, but it just buys enough time for Carl to get involved. Scythe is out. Arena fall from Jab so he can step into the middle of the fight, controlling 3, but the damage, it's there to take the life of Carl. They even get Whitemon along with it, so biting off a little bit more than they can chew on T1, diving the T1 tower, and they will be penalized for that attempt.
Okay, well, a relocate to bring the Mars in makes that armlet very valuable.
A couple of sentries in the area as well, really trying to give Raven that safe space. Find his catch-up farm, but down to bottom we go as DJ with jabs. They do have the relocate potential, but with all the stuns flowing in quick succession, they're going to give it another scythe kill to Carl. He's up to 3 charges now. Oh,
it's so early. It's so early for him to have this. Even though you have your IO Drow, you have the Drow counter in a way versus the Dusa with an IO behind. This Necro is just huge. Level 12 on Carl. Reaper's back. They're hunting, but it's gonna be a big fight.
Oh, nice silence. They'll be able to kill off the tree protector before the fight breaks out, and meanwhile, jabs run straight to Cuckoo. This is an exceptional start to the fight for FNATIC. They will lose the life of jabs. Carl's going to be able to get another scythe kill, but Raven standing his ground, beating to Gabby, who will force back Januel, is going to end up ticking out to the Spirit Vessel, but now they can turn their attention over to the Necrophos, diving out of the T1 tower as they buy back on the Bane, but to no avail as Carl gives up a streak over to DJ.
It's just easier to farm. Like Manta, Medusa, you just Manta, send it down waves. You just naturally farm so fast. 306 last hits on Dusa, 213 on Drow. So, Genuel?
Genuel. It's a tough flash sometimes, so if we're going to
The
try and
real is
get to
coming.
the area, Scythe is out. It's enough to get the kill, the Tombstone. They're trying to focus it down, but off the side, the Fiend's grip. It's out onto Jabs. He doesn't have an opportunity to get the arena out before he dies to BKB, but it will not matter. Now they're onto Raven to the eastern side as Carl and Cuckoo, they recognize their job, surrounding the Drow, forcing out a BKB. But that will only be used to make it away as T1. What a play from them. And
They initiate with Rolling Thunder because they know they're going to react with the relocate. Even though they didn't know who was on high ground there, like they just force an engagement. I would like him to honestly have some more armor. He has 8 armor. I'd like some plus armor versus a Drow maybe, but I'm unsure. Maybe the blink is just valuable enough for him to get on top of the Drow. As it looks like the fight's going to kick off. Armel's committing. They saw Ghost Shroud use.
they just lost the ward on the backline. FNATIC and now Cuckoo once again. Prime target of the Mars, but they don't get the second bounce back, so DJ to the rescue. They'll sacrifice Genuel. Cuckoo trying to cut down some trees, finding any stragglers, but they'll just get the return kill on the Io, so both supports will be killed off, and they'll try and connect this into some more towers down bottom.
Carl gets both last hits too. I think really important. He's got Radiance. Another stack as well too, so now we look once he gets his stacks done.
They have some very good vision though on FNATIC. One by the cliffside, kind of in the bottom Radiant jungle. One that's about to expire, protecting FNATIC's triangle.
Oh god, look at Carl now. So plate mail, and he just got blast rig. Look at his armor now.
Amel,
Raven.
Thunder out, but they're on to Raven! What's the draw doing in the river? A quick relocate from DJ. Raven's out to safety, and now FNATIC pounce. They're on to the opposite side of the map as Bane's gonna drop. Carl's in trouble, is able to reset his positioning, drops a side, but Armel's okay, protected for the BKB. A remnant over to his side. It's FNATIC. Okay, but that was way too close for comfort.
Now he's got multiple different ways to protect himself versus Gust, chains, etc. Only way they can kill him is if they burst him in a spear combo. And they are setting up for it.
That they are.
Let's see, can
Carl
they get
doesn't
Carl?
have heroes behind, and dying know where all of Radiant are. They're well aware that Carl has no backup. A Lotus out. He's still got the Yules to be able to play with. Jab's gonna fly over the tree line to offer the extra control, and Carl gets the Yules at the last second, but can they stand their ground to protect him? Carl will be killed off. Cuckoo trying to deal with the backline, but the Rolling Thunder will provide nothing as the TP out. He's okay, but now this might give a sign for FNATIC to continue on for more. Gabby's out to safety, but Armel will not be able to run into the tree and protect us.
He refreshed. Jabs is ready.
On Armel. Armel needs to get them grouped up. See how they're playing? They are underneath Radiant Vision, so there's full confirmation. Roche is soon to fall. They need to get in the pit. Gabby standing his ground to bash. No from Roche. Now the arena's out. Trying to control them out of the pit as the Aegis picked up from Jabs. Armel able to survive through the scythe. Now with the BKB remnant out, but still inside the mouth of the pit. They have the Fiend skip. They'll get rid of the first life, but how can they reset for the second? There's Raven and DJ standing hand in hand, but T1, they don't want to bar over it. They're happy with that. Still aggressive smoke in quite some time.
25 on Mars.
Look at this. Armel's going to see Carl. I think he might have actually just been out of range. Jabs,
the jump.
Instant jump onto the Bane. A quick and easy kill. Armel's going to look to follow up and provide some more chaos towards the backline. Jabs with a refresher. Pins the Necro up against the tree. Whiteman's going to fly over, trying to lock them down with the overgrowth, but there's no extra damage throughout the duration. They're trying to focus him down still. Carl's falling lower and lower. They will kill off the Necrophos. Meanwhile, throughout the river, Raven duking to the northern side. Has been able to avoid Gabby. He's going to blink on forward. A beautiful nightmare. Raven's in trouble. They're TPing behind him. They need a way to be able to protect Raven. That's where Jab's putting his body on the line with the bulwark. And now Raven turns it back around. They're locked onto Gabby. Pins him up against a tree like a pinata. Is Raven doing God's work. They're on to more. Cuckoo stuck on a cliff. Well, that's not the position you want to be in. It's FNATIC flying for... I don't know how they keep doing it. Just pop the prize, so a full set of barracks.
Wow. So well played, honestly. Look at Armel's gold now, too. After one successive fight, like one huge fight like that, he's up to 8k gold. Jabs had just finished 25 before that fight, too.
Now you're 11,000 gold behind, and potentially soon to be playing tiebreakers if you lose this series.
And now Jabs has the Lincolns too, so they have look at the cores now. They have double Lincolns on the Ember and the Mars. The Raven is at 25.
Up the high ground, Cuckoo instant rolling thunder. Look, get rid of the life for the Undying, but look at Armel, the recognition to try and deal with the backline supports. Jabs wants in, and he does just that. An Arena controlling the entrance into the fight. So T1, they have to get creative on how they're able to get on top of Raven. A second Arena to the west, just giving Raven ample time to be able to beat onto Cuckoo. A rolling thunder completely wasted. Swashbuckle down to the low ground, but Armel, godlike streak. They're back over. Carl gets a side kill, but it will not matter. Die back onto the Pangolier. It's only the two survivors, Gabby and Carl, limp out to safety and waste the arenas. But as soon as those BKBs expired, you've got second arena. And now you've even got Aegis for free, along with everything else you could potentially want.
So even though it says like 18,000 or whatever disparity, it's actually more than that because Gabby's holding 8,000 gold.
Yeah. Wonder if
Jabs
he's
is
considering
ready. The Harpy.
What Gabby just buy?
Look at it.
Okay.
Look at it. Look at the Harpy.
Oh no, dude. No. Jabs onto the Medusa. An instant nightmare. Cuckoo's going to look to fall up with the second arena, but the mana, it's being burnt. The health is being burnt as well. Raven just freely sieging on the backline. Now Gabby's going to look to buy back to rejoin the fight. FNATIC, they need to get out. They need to avoid the Medusa. She wants revenge. Stone Gaze into the middle. Jabs limping away. Look at the bulwark. Look at the healers. Jabs is not even dead just yet. Zephyr's trying to blink to the backline, but Raven, Gabby's in the middle. A BKB, Gabby, they need to be able to prevent the marksmanship proc, but once again, pinned to the tree. They're going to focus the Medusa. She just pulled back. If she dies, that's game.
Oh
Gabby's gone. FNATIC have such a huge window to take this game and potentially the series.
And then somehow he I cannot even understand how he lives. He resets himself out of the fight from the double heals, and then he's there for a follow-up spear. So well played. And yeah, 80 seconds, no Dusa. It's go time. 2 minutes on Aegis.
Now, oh, the Harpy again! Nerf this creep! Get it out of Dota. Don't make it this busted. As FNATIC get another pick-off, and now they're diving tier 4 towers. Carl is not as tanky as what he was prior in game 3. He'll make it back to the safety of his fountain. Okay, a Fiend's Grip, it's a long enough duration, but Armel doesn't even die throughout it. They're lacking the damage without the Dusa. 4 gone, no buybacks. Ravens onto the throne. And FNATIC, what was that?
What a comeback. That was I mean, it wasn't like out of Realm's reach with this like 9k gold lead, but it was really starting to feel it. But man, that was such good plays about recognizing how to take fights, and like Jabs' buyback around that mid fight, it felt like that was everything. That arena, that refresher, him just catching out